video was filmed before the tragic events that happened with the Titan when it was diving into the Titanic last Sunday. Our respects and thoughts are with the families of all who lost their lives.
I love the Coldplay videos you put up the last few days. What other bands and singers have you seen or are planning to see?
Bands, it's numerous. I mean, Keith's a lot older than me, so he's seen more than me. You've seen some of the biggies, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen Queen, I've seen Tina Turner, Bowie, all those.
Kate Bush was one of the big ones we saw when she did a concert. It's probably 8 years ago now. That was a real big one, and I cried on my way to that because I love Kate Bush.
Lucy Spraggan.
Lucy Spraggan we saw this year.
One of the latest ones.
We're going to see the Australian Pink Floyd in November.
So, again, it's opportunity, isn't it?
It's opportunity, and to be honest, the cost these days, the price of concert tickets has gone silly.
There was a local person, Warthog.
Yeah, Warthog. We're not very good at talking.
Warthog Productions, locally to Nottingham, who used to get some
of the 80s, 70s and 80s.
80s singers and band groups at a village hall near us, and we used to go to those quite a lot.
We saw Andy Fairweather over there. We saw Carol Decker from To Power there. We saw Hazel O'Connor there.
So yeah.
And then someone in rugby's just started a band, haven't
they? So we hope it's not their concerts are not really tied in with when we've been available, but we're hoping to see those. And it's sort of trying to get some smaller bands to see, aren't we?
Yeah. We used to go and see a lot of bands, didn't we, really? And we've seen, being in Nottingham, we've seen a lot of bands in Nottingham, Deacon Blue, Proclaimers, all those kind of bands who come. But you go to the arena now, tickets are silly money. So.
You've had 4 dogs before. Would you ever go back to having 4? And another question right under it, but it's about the dogs. Why Border Collies?
Okay. This could cause a domestic.
Oh, okay. You want 4 dogs or he wants 4 dogs? I don't think you should have 4 dogs again.
I don't think we should have 4 dogs. And he hates why I say it, but we are getting older. And to be honest, 4 dogs, Keith works, I don't work. I was taking him out and I was finding 4 dogs hard work. There again, I was bigger then, but
they pull hard.
I wouldn't like to go back to 4 dogs.
No, 4 dogs were sort of restricting, weren't they?
Yeah.
In what we do. 3 is fine, and I think when Tor goes, I don't think we'll get a replacement straight away.
No. Straight away. It's not saying never.
2 tops now. I'm not saying that if anything happened and we were down to 1, I'm not saying we'd restrict to 1, but I think 2.
I think we'd always have 2.
Because they're company for each other, and we've always said that the younger ones learn off the older ones. They learn more off the older ones than they do from any training that we do.
Yeah.
And why collies?
I've always had Border Collies. I used to work on a sheep farm during the Easter holidays, a friend of the family. And I used to have a sheepdog then, which knew what to do rather than me controlling it, I must admit. But I wanted a dog that would, when I got dogs, I wanted a dog that would go up the hills with me. And Border Collies, I love them anyway. And that's why.
So I moved in with Keith and we're already collies there. But when I was growing up, we had a Labrador and a Border Collie. And going back to favourites, the Border Collie was always my favourite, even though she was a little bugger. But yeah.
Okay, so a question from me, because I've just thought about it. If you didn't have a Border Collie, is there a dog that you would like to try and have? Like, if any of all the dogs you know in the world, is there a breed that you'd like to possibly have one day?
Growing up, I always wanted a red setter, an Irish setter, but I don't think I would now.
Okay.
Retrievers, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah, something gentle, maybe. I'm not saying that these aren't gentle, but there's nothing I could put my finger on that I'd say.
Okay, nothing that's immediately jumps out.
No.
How old are you both?
66.
59. I had to think then. 59.
Is it hard work making videos, and do you ever think about stopping? Please don't, it says.
No, I don't think we'll ever stop at the moment. We both enjoy it. We both enjoy making the videos and putting them up.
Going back to hobbies, I suppose YouTube is a hobby.
I suppose it is. So
hard work sometimes.
Especially when we've got other things to do during the week.
Yeah.
And editing is trying to get editing sorted and getting it uploaded and things like that. But then it just seems to happen, doesn't it?
Sometimes we've got a load of videos in the bank. I mean, we're way behind with videos at the moment. This will probably go up pretty quickly, but we're way behind with videos at the moment. So we've got a load in the bank. There are other times where we've actually thought, we've not got a video for Friday, because we do like to put one out once a week. That becomes hard work when you're thinking, we need to film something.
But that seems to be more during the winter when you're not doing anything anyway. But we've managed to get through this winter quite nicely.
I mean, I think sometimes I've said, shall we not bother taking the camera with us today? And he said, well, you never know what we'll see, so yeah, we'll take it.
We should always have the cameras with us. Yeah. Should.
I mean, you couldn't do what you do.
I do it every day, although one's not gone up tonight because there just wasn't enough signal anywhere around here for me to get the video up.
I mean, it's only recently that you've got to the point where you're behind with your videos as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
You used to,
I have caught up a bit, but I was a week behind.
You used to be regular, didn't you?
Did used to be with all that fibre. Yeah. I just want to say, sometimes it can be disheartening as a YouTube creator when you don't get many comments or many views.
Yes.
And so if you could comment, even if it's just an emoji on their videos, it will help with the algorithm, and it means they will get pushed in front of new viewers, and their sub count will go up, and their comments will go up, and their view count will go up. So thanks.
Please.
Okay. Where was I? I don't understand why your videos don't get more views. Well, there we go. I did not read that before.
You must have read that up subconsciously.
Why you don't get more views? You are more entertaining than some channels. They get a lot more views. Why do you think you don't get more? Because people don't comment enough.
I don't know. I mean,
we don't look at the analytics.
No.
People told us in the past that we should, and we should hone in this.
There's certain key things you need to do to help.
To be fair, we don't. We just do them as we like them.
yeah, I mean, with the wrong age.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
We are the wrong age.
You're not an 18, 19, 20-year-old female.
No.
That's true.
Wearing a bikini.
Unless you're identifying as one. But I don't think that has quite the same work around.
No, with the wrong age, I mean, Keith says we don't look at demographics or algorithms or anything like that. I do occasionally look, because you can look at the age group, and we are being watched more by the older age group, so... but it's never been a big thing. Although we like the views and we like the comments, it's never been all about the numbers, has it? Really, but it would be nice.
It got to you once.
Yeah.
The numbers.
Yeah, because the numbers started dropping,
and
I was like, I'm going to give it up now.
That's how it went. I'm going to give it up now.
And I mean, you said as well, you could tell that I was getting disheartened.
He was having a temper tantrum.
He was.
And I just went, oh, I'm sorry you feel like that.
He's at it again.
Tomorrow he'll feel different.
I did.
And he did.
She knows me so well.
Oh, yeah.
She's like my wife, really.
Yeah. I don't nag you enough for that.
She's nothing like Carenza.
She's a lot nicer.
I'd say that.
Was that?
Don't watch that bit, Jacob.
Right, where was I? Have you both always liked history? Me and my wife love the history you add to your videos, no matter where you are.
Now, this is a funny one. Yes, I've always liked history, but I didn't take enough notice of it at school.
Was it the wrong type of history at school? Like, was it all the kings and queens and stuff like that, and it wasn't really what you're into?
I loved doing the Vikings at school,
yeah.
But I didn't take history as a subject at secondary school.
Right.
What about you?
No, I was a scientist, so I dropped sort of all the arts subjects as much as I could.
I think history is one of those that, as you get older, you become more interested in history.
Yeah. You've got more of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a funny. I say it's a funny one because Pip's got a friend who does look at algorithms and all that, and she says that if she starts talking about history, her views go down. They really drop.
Yep. If you talk about history, it goes like that, the views, and then they drop off and they skip past the history or her music or talking about YouTube editing. If she puts food, it does that.
It's a strange one because
Yep.
we thought history would go down really well, but we enjoy filming history, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. What are your favourite colours?
Yellow.
That was quick.
Blue and yellow.
Actually, that would explain your van. It's not that it's blue and yellow, but inside it's got
blue
a lot
and
of
yellow
blue
is
and
because of Warrington and
Yes.
rugby.
okay.
Primrose and blue.
But yeah, it's always been yellow with me ever since I was a little kid. And my sister was a lot older, and she had a radiogram that I wasn't allowed to touch.
And it was yellow.
No, but
No?
when she was at work, because obviously went to work earlier,
Ha!
ages
My
then,
aura.
I used to play Mellow Yellow by Donovan and Yellow Submarine by the Beatles. And there were
Only
two
yellow songs on
yellow.
there.
That's all I played when I was a kid.
Yellow songs.
So yes, yellow.
Not that you're quirky in any way, shape, or form.
I am not.
Where were we?
Hello.
How do you find such brilliant park-ups? This one is courtesy of moi.
Yes.
This is a bit roady though.
But there again, Pippa usually takes us to dogging car parks.
Yeah, not intentionally. It's just I find really secluded car parks to go and hang out in because I think it'd be nice and quiet, and it just turns out to be a dogging car park.
Did you know that courtesy of this one, here's a little story, we found out because Pippa wanted to know the etiquette of dogging.
Just because we were in a car park that it was happening in, that's all. I just wanted to, I didn't want to make any faux pas.
So we Googled, or Keith Googled it. I had nothing to do with it. Keith Googled
You laughed a lot.
And there are 2 pages of etiquette for dogging. Anyway, that's an aside.
Anyway, so how did you find such good car parks and park-ups?
We use Park for Night.
Park for Night's our main one.
And it's hard to say, but knowing areas and just finding them.
Yeah.
You start to see things as you're
Yes,
driving around. You get
yeah.
your Campervan eye going. Oh, that'd be a good one.
I suppose we're a bit naughty because we don't share them.
No, there's a reason for that.
We don't share them because we have, we have shared them before, and unfortunately they've been abused after that. So we tend to show kind of where they are, but we don't do the what 3 words or anything like that. Might be a bit naughty and it might be a bit possessive and selfish, yeah, but mostly Park for Night, like you say, driving around thinking that'd be a good one. And look, we've always said, if you're looking for somewhere to park, don't leave it till it's late in the evening and going dark. Start about 3 o'clock, go and look for somewhere, find it. You don't have to stay there and then, but just keep it in the back of your head.
That's
Street View's good as well.
Street
You've
View.
never
Yes.
I've never used
Google Street View.
Yeah.
Right.
If you think you've found an area and then Street View it.
Yeah, yeah. But finding a park up earlier in the day is something we learned when we were going around Cornwall. For
Yeah,
that
because
long time, doesn't it? We got started getting fraught then.
believe it or not, I get hangry.
I believe it.
I don't know why, but I think my blood sugar drops, doesn't it? And I start getting really fraught then. And if I get fraught, Keith gets fraught because
And nothing goes right then, does it?
no,
Yeah.
it's just you're panicking about parking up. So yeah, find early. You could go flying again because the head's
Yes,
wrapped
I
around
was
the
just
tripod.
noticing how close she is. Okay, why don't you go to big campervan events like Camp Quirky or some of the others? And you once organised one, would you do it again? It's a long
That's
pause.
you more than me.
I'm beginning to sound like quite a horrible person here. I'm quite antisocial, to be honest. I don't like big groups. There are various reasons I don't like big groups. It's because one of them's the dogs. I always feel a bit not on edge about they're going to do anything wrong, because I know they wouldn't, but I always feel we've got to be on top of the dogs all the time, and it's nagging them. I'm not into this big look. This sounds daft when we do YouTube. I'm not into the big look at me, look at my van type thing either.
There's usually a lot of drink goes on, a lot of
Yeah.
rowdiness, a lot of loudness.
I mean, in the
It's
past
quite
we have
cliquey.
enjoyed the meets that we've been to. And,
Excuse me.
you know,
Would we do one again?
It'd be nice to.
We did off grid, which was really nice, but again that got bigger than we planned it to, because I'm not very good at saying no either, only to Keith. So that got bigger because it was only going to be 10 vans for a start, and I think we got about 40 in the end. And that's why you first thought about a van,
when
isn't
I
it?
camped in my I camped in my car that one, and when it was flipping freezing, I needed a van.
Yeah. What do we do on again? I mean, yeah, this is. I say probably not. Maybe it's a get together with a few friends.
Yeah. I think we'd do that.
Yeah.
I'm putting me in with this.
Well, when you organise, it will come.
Yeah. All right then.
Also, the other thing.
Don't hold your breath.
The other thing was, I did consider us doing another off-grid, but then we got to the point where the place where we held the first one said that we were going to have insurance because we got over 30 vans. So when you start thinking you've got to start paying for insurance for anything, and then it might even get into doing
and you can't
risk
relax
assessments
properly because it's like it's other people's dogs, so it's like, has everybody got their dogs on leads, or is it no dogs but you've got your dogs, and it's just you're suddenly the organizer, and it's all the rules, and if there's an issue it comes down to you.
It took the
joy out of it.
When we did craft fairs, as they got bigger, it took the joy out of it, because you had too much responsibility to make sure everybody had a good time.
You've got to feel like you're going around and talking to everyone.
But
and
when it was small, you could get around everybody. You could involve everybody, and it was much easier and much more relaxing.
Worrying about everyone and how they're feeling. Are they enjoying themselves?
Yeah. And then if someone's not looking like they're enjoying themselves, why aren't they enjoying themselves?
And, yes, I suppose. And then it's like, are they not having a good time? Is this not a good thing?
Have we done something wrong? Should we have done something differently? So, are there many more?
You've got a few more. 5.
Right.
Do you have set roles when deciding what videos to make, and what research do you do to decide where you're going to film? So you're the researcher.
I do the research. Yeah.
The last few sort of the boats. The Oakland.
When we did the Oakdale boat, and when we did the horse museum, well, they were kind of different. Oakdale, I'd found out about, so I approached them. Yeah,
I heard about the horse museum, and you approached them again.
I approached them. I do most of the approaching, to be honest, if it's a video like that.
But apart from that, it's opportunity, isn't it? We were down in Winchester at my cousin's birthday,
and a family funeral,
so we ended up doing Winchester, and it's just where we end up.
Lake District was somewhere we both love. Lake District, somewhere we both love. The recent Anglesey videos, and more of those to come, is because we used to go there a lot as well. But then we started hearing that Anglesey was getting very anti campervan park up, so we stopped going for a while. But we went back, took a risk, and it was perfect.
We didn't find that at all, did we?
No,
nothing's changed really.
So research-wise, I do most of the research. I do it by Google, finding finding other.
Hi.
Shouldn't let me lick her like that.
Is it supper time? Is that what you said?
Google, and if I hear somewhere that looks interesting, I'll go on YouTube and see what other people have put up, and then try and think about how we can do a similar video but different as well.
Your take on it.
Our take on it, yeah. Because no matter how many videos you'll see, you're seeing them through
a person's
eyes. So yeah.
Yeah. So. That's the interesting thing when Emma and I do videos together, and you watch my vlog and you watch her vlog. And the difference is, but we've been in the same place. It's really interesting.
It's like us, isn't it? When we do it, it's like we've seen things that you haven't. You've seen things we haven't.
Okay.
Damn it! She's not shown us that bit.
I know Keith plays rugby. Do you play any sports, Daryl? Pocket billiards a sport.
Have you been watching? Why are you laughing?
Because I know the answer.
No.
You're trying to imagine him doing sport.
Yes.
No.
You won't even come and watch my rugby
That's
team.
the short answer then.
No.
Yes.
My
He's got stuck. Give him a nudge.
My proudest thing that I can say is I have never ever played a game of football. I have never kicked a football in a football match. I used to skive off games at school. I used to say, can I go and do some maths in the hall, please? It's my time
You're
of
a
months.
bit weird, aren't you? Can I do maths? I hate sport.
And I'm not very good at maths.
If you could choose one, would you rather go into space or dive in a submarine and explore the oceans? Oh.
I would rather dive into the oceans.
Both of them, there's a lack of oxygen, which would
Yes.
freak me out.
I do get a bit claustrophobic. I would rather dive the oceans. If I could only dive one thing, I would love to go down and see the Titanic. I'm obsessed with the Titanic.
I'd be struggling to decide. I would love to go.
If you go up
in
into
a submarine.
space, you could then land in the ocean.
I would love to go and look at some marine biology and that sort of things in a submarine, but I would love to go out as a scientist, go out to outer space.
I'd like to see the Earth from space.
Yeah, I mean,
and be
from
weightless.
proper space, like sort of the moon area, rather than just up into the out of the atmosphere and call it space.
I'd like to do the weightless bit, I must admit.
But,
No, I'd rather
But it'd
dive.
be pretty amazing to go right down into the dark part of the ocean and like all those really weird creatures.
I'm not bothered about the creatures. I just want to see wrecks.
Okay. How do you deal with wet dogs in the van?
They're dogs. You just accept
They-
it.
we
Get
do-
wet.
Yeah.
we do carry towels.
They have a rub down.
They have a rub down, but yes,
It's no different from when Keith's wet. I'd rub him down as well.
you've got about as much hair.
Wolfie.
But yeah,
It's part of having owning a dog. The
Yeah.
dogs are going to be smelly and wet at some point, and to be honest, we're used to it. We don't really notice it, do
Because
we?
they're smelly and wet as well.
You've noticed.
How do you deal, this is the last one, how do you deal with filming in public? And seem to find it easy to get people to talk to you on camera. How do you do it?
I think it's one of those things that you get better at it. I mean, I think when we first started carrying a camera around, we were like, is anyone looking at us?
I'm still a bit like that.
but then getting people to talk is relatively easy, especially when they know something and want to tell you.
Yeah.
We
passionate about
often
it.
get people saying, let me take you around here. I can give you some more information than you'll ever know. And that happened at the Abbey up in Yorkshire.
It's also, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? They can say no. I mean, it's like when we're at that place that I'm not going to pronounce that ends in go, go, go. We just said to the lady, are you local and would you mind saying it on camera? And she was like, yeah. And if she'd have said no, we'd have probably asked someone else. And it's just, don't be shy. No point being shy.
No, and it's how you approach people.
He doesn't like people, but he'll talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I think we have said this before amongst ourselves because people do ask us. I think our jobs helped because we already mentioned Keith was a teacher. I was a social worker, so
Talking to people
it's what we do.
Eliciting information.
Whether we actually listen to them or not, it doesn't matter.
Flash you up.
Wow.
Right, brilliant.
It's been a pleasure interviewing you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all those questions. They have been building up for a while, so thank you.
Is that one video or a billion video? How long have we been here?
I don't know,
I don't
probably
know.
half an hour. It might be 2.
What, 2 hours?
Just feels like
Or
it for you.
2.5 hours?
Anyway,
Cheers.
cheers.
I've run out of tea. Cheers.
She didn't feed me a Pringle either.
You've got hands and a mouth.
I was
Isn't it?
talking.
Stick that in it. Pringle? Need longer fingers.
Boo. Anyway, I still can't get it out. Thank you. Oh, that one can go back. How can you afford Pringles these days? You need a mortgage.
Thank you.
I just didn't look at the price.
You've gone stupid.
Probably, I just didn't look at the price.